Okay, I have Vanessa with me, and I am so excited to chat with her about two things. First, about her brand new business here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So first, first let's give a little background about you. I know you and I talked during my video project, but all my podcast
Yeah.
listeners that listening to Keeping Tabs, tell us a little bit about you and your background and how you got to Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, for sure. So I was actually born in Cleveland, and my husband and I have been together for 14 years. So he grew up here, and that's what brought us to Coeur d'Alene after a dozen years in the Marine Corps. So we're excited to raise our little boys here. As you can hear, the daycare, you know, we catch everything. This is the end of the summer cold, not the COVID. But yeah, so career fundraiser. I worked for the American Cancer Society for a dozen years before I had the opportunity to hop over to the Children's Village, which has been a really cool experience and also an opportunity to be a mom. So I get to be home. I work full time, but I'm kind of part time in the office, part time home, and get everything done. So it's chaos. You will likely hear someone murdering someone.
I'm hoping these are.
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, never can tell. But yeah, so I work for Children's Village as director of charitable giving, and we just recently started our brand new business, CDA Kids, which is a bounce house rental business. It's 100% mobile. We had planned, and we still plan, a really fun inside play space for families, but that was our original intention. And then the rental business was like phase 2 or 3 of our business plan. But then COVID hit, and there's just too much uncertainty with anything inside. So we decided to just flop our business plan and start with the business rental or the bounce house rentals. And it's going great. It's crazy.
yeah,
I was out there. Yeah.
that's
I was
some.
out there this morning.
Oh, I bet. I know a couple of my friends that have rented from you. Um, there's one of them.
Nice. This is Baron.
Hi.
He's turning 5 next week.
Oh, that's exciting.
I will text Reed's mom. Can you please go inside and finish your movie, and I will be right in? Yeah, this is my life. I'm gonna text her. Okay, go. Go,
Um,
please.
so let's first talk about Children's Village. And there is a big event that usually happens. It usually happens like April, March. But now you guys have gone virtual. And
Yeah.
first of all, tell us what you guys are doing, how you're doing the Children's Village auction, and then how can people get involved if they're not like going to the auction? Is there a way that they can bid on items, those kind of things? So tell us what you guys are doing in lieu of the changes.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Nobody wants to be virtual, but we are. We originally were scheduled for April 18th at the Coeur d'Alene Resort, and then that was right when everything shut down. And so April 18th became, I think it was June 5th, and I was like confident that that was going to happen. And then June 5th just started cruising by, and we moved it again to August 12th. And the board of directors and I just kind of decided like, there's no more reschedule. If we're going to do anything, we want to honor the other. I'm getting tickled by my 5-year-old. Please stop. We want to honor the other charities that are fundraising, and give them their space. We don't want to keep encroaching on other fundraising space because it's a small town and we all support the same families. So it's important that we all respect each other. So that was a big primary reason. And then secondary, with COVID, it just didn't feel good as a community to push for 400 people for any reason, it just didn't feel good. So now we're virtual, and I would rather not be, but we are. So we're doing something a little bit more fun. Instead of just kind of being virtual, like tune in if you want, we are actually giving all 400 participants these events in a box. And the events in a box are meant for 2 people to enjoy, and it's also our way to like acknowledge our sponsors. So there's Coeur d'Alene Honda is our cocktail sponsor. So there's wine glasses with their logos on it, and a bottle of wine from our centerpiece sponsor, Clearwater Summit Group, and then P1FCU is our presenting sponsor. So there's a lot of goodies, and Pinkerton Retirement. So it's just a fun way to try to get sponsors to feel like they contributed and they still get their brand awareness, but also, try to get people to tune in. So we're doing an actual show at Amped Studios in Spokane Valley. It's like a professionally produced auction. So hopefully everybody who's tuning in at home gets to feel like they're there. So yeah, everybody can watch. Only ticket holders, so only people who are on our registered list have an invite to the auction, silent and live.
Have they answered yet?
So only ticket holders can access our silent auction, which is a really cool app. Again, I've been doing fundraising for 12 years and I've never had to do a virtual auction. So this is all also new to me. So I've had to take professional photos of each item and put it on, this app with the descriptions and get all the fair market values. And so that's launching on Friday, and that's only ticket holders. And then everybody in our community can participate in our raffle. So we're doing a text to give raffle for a couple of Yeti coolers packed with like 100 bottles of beer and, chairs. And so we're trying to incorporate everybody, but we're also trying to preserve the ticket holder,
Oh, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I love that you guys are doing that. So if they do want to buy a raffle ticket, is there a deadline? When can you do that by?
Yeah, we're going to shut it down the day of. So during the live feed is when we're going to pull the ticket. So you can text the letters CV Summer. So CV Summer, all one word. So Children's Village Summer to 41444. And that on your phone will it'll auto respond a link so that you can buy tickets. So they're $25 or $5 for 100. So it's been fun to see how excited people in the community are. Like, people want to support Children's Village. I don't personally have the ability to give a couple $100. It's just not where I'm at in my life. But $25 I can afford. So.
Yeah, I love that. I love and I love how much people do want to help the Children's Village, because you and I've talked about this. It's one of the most needed nonprofits in our area. So events like this make us run, and so they need to happen. And so I want to commend you. I've talked to many people who talked about how great you've gotten creative. I mean, you coming onto that team and bringing the creativity and your knowledge and all of the past experience you've had with the different nonprofits you've worked with. So any way that I can support or we can support, I'm really excited.
Thank you.
That 400 people, still exclusive to only them, they're like, hey, I want to buy that Maui trip, but I don't want some Joe over in Vermont gonna buy it out.
Exactly.
Because I'm the one here supporting the Children's Village. So I love that you're preserving that still. That's their auction.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I think especially right now, because everybody's at home, right? Everybody's on social media. Social media is so, I don't know, it's just different right now. People are not very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've heard some feedback, pretty negative feedback about, us not opening it. And it's a hard decision, but I do want those sponsors to feel valued and like they are part of an exclusive event. And it's not that I don't want people to give money to the village. It's just, in this case, I already have my eyes set. As a fundraiser, you understand this. There is a pipeline, right? It's not just about 2020 anymore. We're now looking at 2021, and ideally we'll be all in person. We have this great plan of having it out in the meadows at the village. So tenting it and making it just this really wonderful summer fundraiser where you can see where your money is going. And if we don't preserve this year in every way we can, even though it's virtual, then what happens next year? As a fundraiser, I'm really sensitive to, it's not just about the money, it's the relationship. So
I love that. And I think that, and it's our community. I mean, the people that really give every year, I mean, they appreciate that. I think it's, and also, I don't know if you've noticed this, but now it's starting to think about the next year's. What if something comes? Maybe it's not COVID. Maybe it's something else comes up.
Right.
Another crash of the economy or whatever it is. It makes us go, okay, we need to be prepared for anything and whatever could happen.
Mama.
Right. And I think something important to remember is that this, we're not out of this. right? And 2021 is not going to be rid of this virus. So as fundraisers, we have to stay agile to a fault. Like, you just can't rest on any laurel. Anything that you did is just, you got to relook at it no matter what. Even next week, even Monday when we do our run through for our event, we're going to have to do the same thing. We're going to have to think like, okay, is this still working for this event? And I don't know. So yeah, we've been talking about like all the platforms for mobile giving. This is our app. It's pretty neat.
Yes,
and so all of
I was going to call you and be like, hey, I need some help with the app stuff because you're.
It's tough. It's hard. I feel like I've spent most of my time just doing like tech stuff. I'm not a tech person. I'm a fundraiser, but now I'm a tech person, just like every other fundraiser in the rest of the world. So, but next year, what it's going to look like realistically is these tools are going to need to adapt so that some people can be here doing this. And as fundraisers, we have to serve these people just as much as we have to serve the 200 people or 300 who are comfortable being together at that point. So we're not done with this. This has totally changed the game. And so it's up to the tools. I bet by this spring, the tools will start adapting to be able to function both in person and virtually for us fundraisers, because this isn't going away.
I agree 100%. Well, let's switch to your new business.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. I was so excited. You live in my neighborhood, so I see your big truck all the time.
Yeah. I know, like 6 a.m. I'm cruising by, going to the interstate, cruising back at like 8.
So you're serving birthday parties,
way more than
everything under the sun. And I think it's a market that is underserved because we do have only a couple other businesses that do that. And we have events and parties. And I know my friend Allie, she rented for her family reunion.
Yeah.
All the stuff because, you think bounce house, but you also do like movie screens.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm working on for the winter. So my priority is serving families like me. We are most of the time there's a niche market, and this is something I've been watching for a decade. So it's not like it's just because I live in Coeur d'Alene that I wanted to do this. And also, as a side note, my husband is an airline pilot, was an airline pilot before COVID. So everything has changed, so you need to stay agile in all ways. And so there's a niche market for dual income families, right? So there's people who, they don't want to get a babysitter. They've already spent the whole week away from the kids, but they do want to do things. And so my primary focus are those parents who want to break a little bit, right? But they also want to be with their kids. And that's the focus of our future as a brand, is serving that constituency. Like, you want to have family fun without feeling bad that your kid is having a meltdown at 6:30 p.m., because you're amongst families. It's hard as a parent of our age group. You feel very alone. So that's my goal with this brand, is to serve our families like us. And so that means price point that we can reach, right? I can't afford a $500. I can't afford that. I can't afford that for a party, and I don't want to have 14 kids in an indoor space right now. It's just not going to work. So that's kind of where we went to. So the bounce houses, that's my goal, is to serve like a price point that we can all achieve. That's not, breaking the bank, and it's mobile. So it's easy, to get right to your house. You don't have to lug your kids anywhere. I'm actually working on some partnerships, which are really fun, with party platters. So I can bring like the party to you as well from another vendor. And I'm also working with someone you put me in contact with on like custom cookies. Like, what if we bring the bouncer and a massive platter for all the parents and the kids, and cookies or cupcakes to celebrate? Like, I'm trying to just make it easy. Like, this is what I need. I need someone to help me. His birthday is next week. It's a lot of work, even for 4 kids, and I don't have time for that right now. It's right after my big event, so I don't have time. And so that's what I'm trying to serve. And I'm really looking forward. People have been really nice and like really receptive of us lugging our plastic bounce houses around. I've already had to hire a 17-year-old helper for his summer job. And yeah, next year I'm excited. It's working. And
what will you guys do in the winter when, everything's indoors?
Yeah. So winter, I'm excited. We're going to be launching sleepover tents. setup.
Fun!
So yeah, like for kids and adults. So like 21 birthday, 21st birthday is fun, or like 18th birthday, whatever. But right now my first set is going to be a Seahawk setup. So it's 4 Seahawk themed sleepover tents for little kids, and it'll come with like an air mattress and like a balloon setup. Again, just bringing the fun to you, even in the winter. So you can rent it for $150 or something for overnight, and it's a totally achievable price point. You've served all the kids, and then I'm gonna have some add-ons like a Nerf guns, and just make it fun. Yeah, again, it's exactly what I need, and so I know I'm not the only person that is in need of this service. So I've got Seahawks tent one coming for this fall, and then like a princess one, and I'm going to be growing it as we.
The Children's Village buying raffle tickets. They just go and text that to get tickets for that, and then also just tell people how they can give when it's.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to give is just navigate right over to our website or Facebook page. The website is thechildrensvillage.org. I have, right on the homepage is a donate button. And then if you want to watch the live event, we welcome you to. It's Wednesday night at 6 p.m. It should show up for you if you're a follower of the Children's Village on Facebook. We'll be sharing it there. And then all of our exclusive ticket holders will have it in their kind of portal on the app. But yeah, it's going to be, everybody is welcome to join. We love telling, as you know, Tabitha, it's amazing to tell the stories of the kids in our community who really need us, and every dollar counts. So everybody's absolutely welcome. There's lots of ways to get involved, and it should be just fun. Everybody's learning together, and I welcome any phone call from anybody with feedback that I could have done. We could do things differently. God help us if we have to be virtual again next year, but we're all learning together, and if there's anything I can do to help another fellow fundraiser, please let me know.
Perfect. And then lastly, people want to rent bounce houses. How do they do that?
Yeah, cdakid.com. So cdakid.com. Everything is, again, it's serving me more than anybody, because you can just go online at any time, even at midnight. That's usually when I get most of my bookings, actually, is overnight, because you can schedule it right online. You can put what day you need it, what time, and just do it while you're thinking about it, and done. And so, yeah, cdakid.com. Yeah, as easy as possible for all of us crazy parents.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so very much for doing this, and good luck with the auction.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Keeping Tabs. I'm Tabitha Kroc, and every Monday I release a podcast about different community members here in North Idaho. And then we end the weeks on Fridays with a podcast about the things I'm passionate about: outdoors, adventures, sports, the van life, and even current events. So if you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, Spotify, or iTunes. Thank you again. Now go be kind and do something great.